Last time we installed some vents and some cleats. The weather recently had either been freezing cold or very, very wet, but I still really wanted to carry on ticking off the jobs and moving the boat towards completion. The first job that I realised I could do was to fix a small gap on the companionway drop boards. I didn't realise this gap was there until it was too late and I'd stuck the piece of wood with epoxy onto the drop board. However, the good thing of working with wood in boats is that you can always fix things and always adapt things. So I managed to find a scrap piece of sapele that I could use to cut a piece and fill this gap so that the drop boards would fit perfectly. I used some tape to protect the acrylic and stuck the piece in place with some thickened epoxy resin and a small temporary screw. Once the epoxy had set, I could carefully sand the new piece of wood to the same radius as the existing piece of wood. Next, I decided to make a galley box for the boat. This I would use to store my gas stove, my pans and any other bits and bobs that I use for cooking. It would also serve to protect the flame of the stove and stop it from blowing out when I use it on deck. I worked out the dimensions that it needed to be and then dug out some suitable bits of marine ply to make the galley box. I used wood glue and some temporary screws to stick it all together. And do bear with me at this point because I'll be completing the galley box in a future episode. My old garden rake's worn out, so I'm going to cut off the end and use the handle to make a boat hook. I used some wood glue and some brass screws to attach the boat hook end. My stainless steel split pin had arrived through the post, so next I drilled a hole in the end of the tiller to fit the split pin and attach it to the rudder. I was desperate to get outside at this point, and a brief pause in the rain allowed me to get out and sand the piece of wood that had attached on the companionway a few weeks ago. Then it was back inside to give a coat of varnish to the parts I'd been working on earlier today.